you should start it here after we say that. Go ahead.
All right. Here we go. Hello and welcome into the Section 109 podcast from Studio Breezy. We're back. I'm back from the other side of the world. And we're going to record talking about some news, boys, with Jay,
Did you
Matthew.
just say Newsboys on purpose?
With some news, boys. But Newsboys was also a great band, and now we hear no slander.
Don't let anybody let the fact that Breezy dropped that subtle flex on being that just coming from across the world. So,
It was
well done.
awesome, and I am still jet lagged, but
Are you?
not too bad actually. I'm doing okay because I'm on day like 3.
Well, you're better. It's worse when you get there than it is
Way
coming
worse,
home, right?
way worse. And I also went to bed at 7:45 last night and 7:45 the night before. Just happened to be the same time. Before 8 o'clock today, I slept like 11 hours. So yeah,
Heck yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Nice.
Feeling pretty good. But boys, what are we here to talk about? Matthew, give us a little review, because while I was gone and right before I left, the club and the universe dropped some soccer news.
Yeah, so the last time we recorded was, I guess, right before Thanksgiving, and we dropped that episode right after Thanksgiving. And then you left town for a little while. And so we've had about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks of just like news dropping.
It's weird to get news in the off season, boys.
It's weird to
Fuck
get
you, Nisa.
It's weird to get a lot of like December related. Like December is usually kind of a fairly dead month for us. And we've got a lot
Just Christmas deals.
A lot of things going on right now.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. First things first, the blast off battle.
So is that? Dude, it just clicked. That's a pun play into the
It
Rocket
definitely
of
is.
Huntsville. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean,
At first I was like, dumb name, and literally as you, kick off, blast off the season. Let's go. Like that's where I was at first. But then you just said that, and I go, oh shit, okay.
I love this. Also,
that's good. That's
longtime
good, Jay.
listeners won't know this, but they can be happy that another piece of the old studio from Jay's house has made it in.
Oh, nice. Well done.
This
That's right. Longtime listeners watching now never saw mine.
they might have it's now if you were paying really close attention on some stories back in the day, you for sure would have seen it, because Jay
Yeah.
used to do stories around every time we recorded, pretty much, and for
But,
sure
like-
you would have seen that
but,
sweet
like,
Christmas
no
tree.
one
But
did that.
no one. Well, there's only like 9 people that listen anyway.
No,
so.
shout out to Rachel. She ordered all this off of Amazon and then gave it to us as a Christmas gift for the old podcast studio. Over here, I don't think they can see it. It's a bottle of whiskey.
Hell yeah.
Because we like drinking that. and
Classic
that's
bottle of whiskey
Matt's
at the
cat.
table.
We used to always drink whiskey on every podcast. We'll have to get back to that once we stop podcasting in middle of the work day.
Yeah, it's because it's middle of the workday.
Yeah,
half the time.
I almost brought Eagle Rare. I thought about it
I would have done
because
so.
I'm just like editing at work right now, and I'm like, you know what, a little slight edge taking off might not be bad. But you have the whiskey bottle, you have the headphones for podcasting, and then you have a soccer ball, and
It's so
everything's
good.
in blue.
And
Nice.
And Ella texted me while I was gone. She was like, "I'm at the store. Which of these trees do you want for Bobble Juan?"
Nice.
So
Bubble Juan does need a tree.
I haven't quite figured out how to place it. This is the first draft, but I placed it right there on the side of this because I don't want to block Section 109.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll get a Maybe if we do another studio at some point, get a wall mounted Section 109, like a lot of studios have the the neons.
Yeah, dude.
Be sweet, but for now, this one's obviously perfect. But then we can put more things on the table. Was my only
for
thought
sure.
there.
There's
But-
going to be another studio.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Either or maybe 2. Maybe one
That's
at your
true.
house and one at my house. All right, boys. Blast off battle. First of all, what a dumb name for a.
But it makes sense.
It does, but for a town that couldn't choose Huntsville United, which is a great name. Not Huntsville United. Rocket City United.
Rocket City United.
Yeah, they
There it
couldn't.
is.
Rocket City United, which was one of the great names of lower division soccer, and they still fucked it up, and they did Huntsville FC. Losers. Like, that was so 2009.
Huntsville City, for the record.
Well, whatever. Even worse.
City! Come on, City!
Oh, man.
If their supporters chant in British accents and are not British, I'm gonna die.
Shout out to the Orange County fans, though, who definitely do that for no reason at all. And
I
it's
know.
the funniest fucking thing.
And I pointed it out. And anyway, here's the thing: I have respect for the Orange City fans because the Orange City supporters have a bunch of chants. When I say a bunch, they probably have like 30 of them.
County? Yeah.
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 Like they legitimately, but like at least half of them have an odd British accent to them.
It's so fun.
That's hilarious.
And it's like,
Makes them feel validated in the sport.
I
probably.
guess. I don't know. I don't.
Hey.
Shout out to my boy Blaine who helps run things up there. Like, much respect. They rule, but I don't get the British accent thing. I don't.
Hey, Matt, can you tell us when the tournament is on the dates, of course, but also tell us the days of the week?
And are we going?
So it's a
We've already talked about that, but also tell us who's
it's
in it after.
it's a Friday
I'm going.
it's a Friday Sunday pattern, and it'll be Friday February 16 and Sunday February 18. The other teams competing, obviously, we're going to be there. Huntsville City is going to be there as the host, obviously, and then the other two teams that are competing are FC Tulsa from the championship and South Georgia Tormenta from League One.
FC Tulsa, a home to Gabby for a little bit, right? Didn't he play for Tulsa?
He did play at Tulsa
Quickly.
for a hot second.
Gotcha.
Before being transferred to he got transferred to Phoenix, I think, middle of last season.
Yeah.
And then won a USL championship title this year.
Yeah, congrats, Gabby.
Yeah, what a monster. What a monster. So we're only going to play Friday and Sunday, you said?
Yeah, so the games are only on Friday and Sunday.
Why not Saturday?
I'm gonna guess because they're gonna have two games. And then play on a Friday. And then play on a Sunday. So they put a little gap.
Oh, I see what you mean for rest purposes. I just figured they would just rotate really heavily the squads because it's going to be preseason like you'd want.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
That's cool.
without knowing like too much about how like preseason's gonna go for us at this point in time. My guess is it's going to be fairly early. That's like the second or third weekend of February. My guess is like they'll probably go 45 minutes on the Friday, 45 minutes on the Sunday.
You mean with starters?
And the reserves as well. And then you end up getting like your first 90-minute weekend.
Yeah.
But just split into two different games.
Right, 2 90-minute games. and
So
just split
funny.
the time, yeah.
Before I went outside, like real quick, before I came back in here, that you literally just said the exact same thing you said when we were standing in there, like
Yeah.
literally. But yeah, it was a conversation we were having before. Yeah.
I missed.
I just thought that was funny. I was like, "Holy shit, where?" Oh yeah,
He's
20
good.
seconds ago.
He's good about saying the same thing.
I think the answer is yes to your question. By the way, if you're going,
I think we
Yeah.
need to go.
Yeah.
So I feel like if
Maybe
you're
road
not
trip
there,
down
then
together.
Something's
We don't
crazy.
we don't
for sure.
know anything about like timing of when the games are going to be. Is it going to be like a 5 p.m. and an 8 p.m. kickoff on Friday night, or because it's February and cold? If they're like, let's keep that during the daytime. Hope you all can make it. That type of thing. Well,
Interesting.
we don't know anything
Yeah.
yet.
I hope it's.
It's also Huntsville, so it could be. I mean, and they're not going to be able to schedule like this, but it could be 60 degrees.
Yeah, it could.
It's Huntsville. Like you just never know how the weather's going to be.
Their ice hocky complex is in the same parking lot as the stadium.
Hell yeah.
I need to buy like a couple sticks, and we don't like you can buy stuff around here, but like Facebook Marketplace. There's no stores. You have to go to Nashville or Atlanta or Huntsville apparently. So
There's
trying to tie those in February.
There's a rumor out there that they're opening in like basically the parking lot of the stadium. They're opening up something called a back 40 this weekend.
Is there a brewery called Back 40?
Maybe that's what it is.
Wait, in Huntsville, you're saying?
Yeah,
Back 40 Brewing is
at the
out
stadium.
of Huntsville.
Oh, it is. I don't know. I've never had them. Oh, cool.
They have some good beer.
They need. I mean, that's the whole pool. We can continue on with this, but the whole pool of a minor league thing, like in America with baseball, is now everybody's doing like mini batteries, basically, like Nashville.
Good.
I think
Yeah.
we're
Everybody
looking at doing
should.
something very similar. Yeah, the Jumbo Shrimp in Jacksonville. They have an awesome thing, but also I'll get off of this as soon as I
What a great name for
They're-
Jacksonville sports
You ready
teams,
for
by
the
the
fan
way,
base?
because
Oh, you ready for
both
the
of
fan
the
base?
soccer teams in named Jacksonville
Yeah.
cannot compare to Jumbo Shrimp.
Do you know the fan base? They're the Crustacean Nation.
That's
All right,
beautiful.
let's move on.
By the way, Back 40 was out of Birmingham. I'm wrong, but I'm sure they have stuff in Huntsville.
yeah, they got to satellite.
So next thing. It's a pretty
next
big one.
thing, big. This is actually a big news here. Tommy Salsa.
Welcome back, Tommy Salsa.
Yeah,
He
Let's
was already backed because he spent like the second half of the women's season as the goalkeeping coach.
yeah.
And then now he's the head coach.
This is such an interesting development. I just didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. I didn't expect it. It's look. First of all, thank you, Coach Randy, for
Yes.
2 very, very important years. Coach Randy presided over and shepherded over the re-arrival and re-emergence and of the program. So I'm extremely grateful and excited for what he did, or happy about what he did. And now, like, I could not. So thank you, Coach Randy. Once a Blue, always a Blue. We love you.
Fan of the pod too.
Yeah, and was a wonderful guest and was a great guy to talk to. And yeah, always welcome here. And I hope to see him in the future. But having a CFC legend come back now for the next chapter,
It's very cool.
is like the proper next step.
Yeah. I think if you want to know more about Tommy Salsa, all you got to do is like YouTube CFC years of 2015, 2016, 2017, and go back and specifically, this isn't just a plug for this, but I shot a couple of videos for the club a few years ago where the players did challenges. It was the Wooly versus Farns thing. And that's a good insight as to who he is and how much of a character he is, because he's such an awesome person. And I have something that I need to get back to him, so I'm glad he's back. And we want to get him on the pod,
Definitely.
100%. But I have his old magnet from college. It
Oh,
got,
yeah.
it got left at Finley, and I was
I
like,
remember
he
this.
can't not have this. And so I took it home, and then he like went and
Went to Florida and was coaching. And
I just did a bunch of stuff.
So you still have it?
I still have it. It's on the back of my desk at home. Yeah, I'm like, one day I'm gonna give it to him. So when the news was announced, I was super stoked about that. I mean, I knew he'd been back around for the goalkeeping coach and stuff. But
Yeah.
really excited to have Tommy back around. He's currently the head women's coach at Bryan.
Yes.
Cool. Well, shout out Elizabeth. I don't know if she still plays there, but she was our intern for a little bit at the studio, and she played for them.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, I know your coach.
Oh, yeah. So I could not be more excited about this.
Yeah.
Like I wondered if we would get one more year of Randy. I kind of thought it might be a 2 or 3 year cycle. And so I kind of wondered if we get one more year or if this would be the end and we get somebody else. I don't know. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know that it was brewing, and the fact that it's a former CFC player, man, just really tickles me.
Former CFC player. Also, when he was a kid, he was in the Manchester City Academy.
Yes.
It was a Manchester City Academy. There's like a video on YouTube he showed me of Falcao, you know, the futsal player, like juggling or whatever. I think that's who it is. And they're like doing a challenge with all the Man City. Like,
I've seen the video.
The younger kids, Soccer AM or whatever. And he's in it. So it's really fun.
And he's so little in that. I've seen it. I've seen
He's
it.
definitely not a little person. So, yeah. But yeah. Super
right.
excited to have him back.
Matthew, anything you want to add there?
No, I'm incredibly excited. Now that we've got, let's stay on the women's team track for a second. I'm going to skip in our show doc.
Sure.
We've got a head coach now. And
Hopefully recruiting has already begun.
I hope recruiting has been going for months now. I don't think Juan's going anywhere. Like, I think hopefully Juan's been on the trail for a while and trying to get some players locked down for next summer. And obviously,
I hope. Did they announce if
No. No.
So I hope Juan is one of the assistant coaches. Juan.
if you look at his Instagram stories, it sounds like that's not going to change.
Are you saying for men's and women's? Because you're talking about women's.
For the
So
women's.
I'm talking about the women's in particular.
As well.
So having 2 CFC legends, as coaches, like arguably
played together.
Arguably the most recognizable CFC men's player of all time, and arguably the greatest men's player of all time, and then a long time staple of the roster, and who had some big moments, including a penalty shootout win.
Yep.
Like, man, that's a really good team up, and I just really hope they're both
What game
in
was
there.
that? What game was the...
It was the U.S. Open Cup, and it was...
Was it Wilmington, or was it...
No, it wasn't Wilmington. Wilmington was...
That was at Wilmington.
No, but the Wilmington win was... in penalties was... No, so it wasn't U.S. Open Cup. Wilmington was...
Was it great?
It must have been it. No, but hold on. It was a different goalkeeper that
Deep
won
into the vault.
that won the...
Wilmington was 2015.
Yeah, it was.
And
You're
it was
talking 2016
NPSL
purple,
playoffs. You're thinking of 2016.
purple jersey.
That penalty shootout would have been with the Ocala Stampede.
Ocala.
Yes.
Ocala.
By the way, I almost
Which
said
put
Ocala.
like if you
I almost said
ever
Ocala.
want to go back to like the
We played them
CFC
2 years in a row.
If you ever want to
Or
go
two out
back
of three.
to like the CFC YouTube and like I think the video starts early enough for you to hear like the starting lineups being read for Ocala. There are some like lower division soccer names
Are there?
on that group. Like I think Lewis Hilton played for them.
Oh, my God.
Who's like, been playing for like a couple of USL teams and like been playing for Tampa for the last few years, like just bossing midfields.
And if you
for
are
years
and
now.
if you're less of a nerd and don't want to deal with having to scroll through like YouTube videos on our Instagram, there is like just go way back, scroll. way back, and you'll find like a replay video I made of it back when it was CFC goals before.
Let's
it was a Section
go.
109 podcast.
Look at that.
Hell yeah.
That was how I learned how to video edit. It was I made CFC goal highlights.
And look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now, dude. So
Come a long way.
So CFC Women's Open tryouts have been announced.
Yes, for Sunday, February 4th.
Got to have some partying to do.
Listen, and that's not the only one, because the men's open tryouts also have been announced for Saturday, January 20th.
Hell yeah. Man, that's a lot of news.
We're not even like halfway through the news.
This is good shit.
Okay, so we've got those things off the board. Let's turn our attention briefly back to the 2023 season, because we got NISA awards for our last season in the league, and I'm just going to read some of these off. Golden Boot, Marcus Nygelstad, which we knew. Golden Glove, Jean-Antoine, which we knew. The two as voted by coaches awards, Golden Ball and Coach of the Year. Golden Ball went to Darwin Espinal of Maryland for however many goals. It was like 13 goals and 5 assists or something like that.
For his 3 years of work. This was a 3.
Please don't pick someone from CFC. You're not allowed to vote for anyone from CFC.
Yeah, bingo.
And then Diego Gomez, the coach at Albion, was given Coach of the Year, which is honestly a fair shout. Like he did a decent job there.
Rod Underwood dominated from start to finish of the regular season. I know we got playoffed, but the idea that Rod Underwood was not Coach of the Year is absolutely fucking out of this world. This is Rod Underwood erasure. I will not stand for it. This is stupid. Nisa is stupid, and I'm so glad we're out of there.
I hate to say this, but Flower City's coach, what was his name?
Jordan Sullivan.
Did he deserve a shout?
No, because they only made the playoffs.
They only won 9 games on the year, and
including
that's including
their
the
2
playoffs.
playoff
Was
wins.
there like a giant turnaround point where like all of a sudden they went from losing the entire time back to winning, or was it
The
just
giant
sort of...
the giant turnaround point was when Club de Leon started forfeiting games.
Okay.
They only made
I'll shut up now.
the playoffs because the Club de Leon they were the last. They won.
Right, but
they won 3 games in the playoffs.
Okay.
2 games in the playoffs.
2 games.
I didn't know if it was like a straight table
They
climb
won.
from turning
They
around.
drew and they won.
Oh yeah, your Drew thing. They won 3 games in the playoffs. They obviously beat us on penalties. So like they won 3 games in the playoffs.
Your Drew
2
thing.
games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He considers
Technically on the score sheet or stat sheet, I think you're right.
yeah.
I am.
Don't give him I think you're right.
I have to do that sometimes.
No, you definitely shouldn't.
But yeah, so what about the first 11? So we had...
So first 11, I only included our players because it's number 1, it's
That's
more
all
than
that
half,
matters.
and number 2, I don't care about the rest. Marcus Nygelstad, Alex McGrath, Richard Dixon, Aiden Bowers, Anatoly Prepelitsa, and Jean-Antoine.
These are very good.
Well-deserved.
Honestly, here's the
There's
the
about
thing.
5 players missing on that.
Yeah.
Exactly 5 players missing, actually. But, it's Nisa, so since they snubbed Rod Underwood, I'm surprised they didn't snub every single one of those guys.
I'm actually a little surprised they didn't snub everybody too. There's 2.
fucking amateurs.
They have to stay relevant somehow, Breezy.
There are a couple there's
I
actually
hope they never
one
kick a ball again.
There's one massive omission here, and it's Joseph Perez.
Thank you.
Is,
that was
like,
gonna be my point.
That
is JP.
that is, you can say whatever you want about some of the other positions that weren't included, but that's a
stud.
massive and glaring error.
Guy's
The
an
fact that
absolute
2 NISA left backs made the all league team above JP is unbelievable.
Yeah. So it makes you think that into the Rod. If I'm being you can look in the Rod situation and be like, oh yeah, they're just stupid.
Yeah,
because of that as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
There's just
Also,
more proof.
here's the thing: we kind of glossed over
Dude,
Darwin.
I'm so
giving-
glad we're talking about this and we're not going back to that shithole. Continue.
Isn't it so nice?
Yeah.
And all this news
Sorry,
that we
was
have.
that was just beaming out of me at that moment.
You know what? If we hadn't changed leagues, we definitely wouldn't already know about going to this preseason tournament because we wouldn't know when the season started, and these other teams wouldn't. It's wonderful.
You mean we wouldn't know who we're going to be playing next year? Period.
God, I just thought of a really good Nisa parody video.
The Darwin thing is interesting because it is 100% like, hey, here's an award for your last 2 years of service here at Maryland, but this is also a huge snub, and I don't necessarily think it's a snub on on Marcus or something.
No, you're
like
right.
that.
Marcus should have also won.
No, Aiden Bowers should have won.
Oh, okay.
Like, defenders get screwed in this all the time.
That's new school Fabio Cannavaro to you.
Did Aiden miss? Aiden missed what, one game? How many games?
He started every single game of the NISA season. He got subbed 45 the second half against Savannah, where we also gave up 2 goals. 2 of our 12 goals on the season.
Yeah.
For load management purposes, just to keep him fresh.
Right.
That was it. He was on the field. He gave up 10 goals. Or he was on the field for 10 goals. 4 of them were penalties. Like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, his job was to dictate the possession game from the back, clean up any mistakes that ever got to him. Usually in situations where if we were in control up the field and a break happens, you're going to be defending with very, very few players. It's not like you've got everybody behind the ball. So the tackles you make and the blocks you make often have to be one-on-one, which requires incredibly good defensive skills and timing and whatever else. Like, not anybody can just do that. And he did all of those things. And he was the most, Anatoli's on this list, but he missed a game through yellow card accumulation, and I think a couple games through
Injury.
Just like injury management or whatever. So, like, what are we doing here?
I agree with you. It should have been Aiden Bowers. I will also say these leagues should have a defensive MVP and an offensive MVP. Why are you leaning into the American playoff system and then calling it a golden ball for the league's best player?
I think that's fair.
Have a defensive MVP and an offensive MVP.
I have a better idea.
Because they already have a goalkeeper award.
We should just leave that league.
Oh shit!
Way ahead.
Oh wait,
way ahead of you.
we already did.
Hey, actually,
Fuck yeah.
this is the 30-day anniversary.
I can't believe it's real. Let's move on to Taylor Gray being re-signed.
Yeah, well, let's do that.
Welcome back, Taylor Gray, baby.
God.
It's going to light a lot of applause buttons in this episode.
A lot of people are gonna be extremely happy about that. I mean, if anybody knows anything, they're gonna be so extremely happy about that, and happy for him to see him coming back. He got some minutes on the field after he came back from the injury. Now he's got some off season to work in, get back to full strength, and because when you're in his position, when he's just getting off the field or understanding like that's going to take a whole lot of time away, and he's got that freaking boot on his leg. Those are some dark moments for
sure.
an athlete. That's all he does. So super happy for him to be able to climb over a mountain, get re-signed, and also super happy for the club to have him because he's such a key part to what we do outside.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, 1 goal, 4 assists, 2 hockey assists in 7 matches in 2023. He actually didn't record any statistical categories like that in his 20-minute cameo versus Club de Leon and his 75-minute cameo against Flower City in the semifinal. All that happened in the first 5 games, League and Open Cup. Like, he started the season on an absolute tear.
So Taylor is a natural left winger, correct? Left wing?
I think, yeah.
Okay, so and Mumu's gone, right?
Yes.
So, and that was kind of the trio was Jesus, then you had Marcus, and then you had Mumu. But does Jesus, is he staying? Is he?
Yes,
okay.
he's back.
Do you think he'll be on the right now, or do you think? I
don't know.
Is it all going to look different? It could
So
all look
Taylor,
completely different. It could be
it
two
could
up
all
top.
it could all look it could all look completely different. Taylor started.
That's another
I think Taylor
episode.
subbed in the semifinal. He started on the right side.
Okay.
And at some point they switched.
Okay.
And like Jesus has a ton of experience when he was with Greenville. Like, he played a bunch on the right side too.
Awesome. And
So,
I don't know
like-
if I said this on here, but I owe him an apology. I don't know. I think I might have said this on another podcast, but when I first saw him play, I was like, "It's not it. It's not what we need."
You did
Okay,
say
I
that
did.
on
Okay,
here.
good.
Yeah.
I just feel like I have to let that be known because I did. I was like, I just don't see it, and everybody's like, I mean, he's pretty good. I'm like, nope. And then it happened. I was like, I'm fucking stupid. Obviously, I didn't watch the game, so
Yeah.
no.
That was 1 goal, 4 assists, 2 hockey assists in 7 matches was Taylor's 2023.
Shout out
his
Taylor.
2022, his first year with CFC, 8 goals, 2 assists, and 4 hockey assists in 29 matches, which it's batshit. His assist and hockey assist totals is like provider totals.
Mm-hmm.
He equaled his 29 game tally in 5 games, but over 7 games in in 1/6 of a minute. Like it was just unreal. It was unreal. So if you take his goals, assists, and hockey assists, and you put them all together, that's 21 goal contributions in 36 matches just over 3,000 minutes. His numbers come out to a goal contribution every 147 minutes.
You're including hockey assists.
Yes.
This thing you love to do.
You can't.
No. He said
You
he
can't
didn't say
get a
an
hockey
assist
assist.
or a goal.
Like you can only get one of those things per goal.
He said goal contribution, which key passes are a part of that. Not truly in statistics, but if we're theorizing things, which Breezy loves
it's also a way of incorporating his ability to beat his man in the box and get fouled.
Yeah.
And get a little bit of credit for earning a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Which happened multiple times in 2020.
And he backheel makes people, so just chill out, Breezy.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Listen, I love
He's
Taylor.
fun.
I love Taylor.
Taylor is fun. He takes the fun meter up.
I agree, and I'm super happy he's back.
Yeah.
I'm super happy he's back. This is a big signing, and for the average, I think, Nuga section fan, I think this is the most he is the most recognizable player since Juan Hernandez.
It's all about hair, honestly.
It's about hair and it's about vibes. It's those two things, and he passes both of those with flying
Do you think
colors.
that's now after Marcus has left? Because I would argue that Marcus has kind of been. I feel like Marcus has been the face. Taylor has been gone.
If we sign players that have crazy hair and they play a lot and they do some good things, they will become the person. Because crazy hair is like just unmistakable.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So and he was on the left wing. So oftentimes he was running down the left wing, going towards the big brick wall end, and
on
was
the fan side.
right on the fan side. Yeah.
I guess I was looking
it's all
at
hair.
Recognizable.
It's
in
hair.
a different
And
way.
remember, and people who may have come to CFC
hair,
later looked at like Juan has shorter hair, and that bobblehead Juan has shorter hair. But like Juan, when we knew Juan, like when he first got there, had that long flowing hair, right? It's just a hair.
In 2016, when things were a lot less organized, my friends that like none of them even live in town anymore, but they're all CFC fans. They liked Juan, but they thought his last name was Rodriguez. So for an entire season, I didn't say anything, and I let them call him Blondriguez.
That is a great nickname.
Yeah, dude.
That is a fun nickname.
Shout out to Neil McIntyre.
They're wrong. They were so wrong, but like
yeah. And Neil knew more than a lot of other people. Actually, he actually kind of paid attention. But yeah, they call him and Michael. Some of my other friends. You're
like, this is too good a nickname. I don't want to correct you.
Dude, I just was like, you know what?
That's funny.
It's a solid name. So Blondriguez is our new super inside baseball nickname.
That's so funny. All right, last thing on this list.
Last but certainly not least.
Definitely not least. CFC has announced a multi-year apparel partnership with Adidas.
I'm so shocked.
I
am mind blown.
I know. Like I think this was a really not well kept secret that we were going to be with Adidas, because I think everybody looked at the MLS deal, myself included, and went, "Everybody's using Adidas. We'll be using Adidas too." So yeah, this is interesting.
I'll point out that's not actually true though. It turns out the other independent team in MLS Next Pro is going to be wearing Hummel next year.
Really?
Which is weird.
Enjoy your manufacturing delays, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Hummel for sure. But like, it's weird to me that like they're gonna I don't know. I'm cool with it. Yeah, tell me how are you feeling, man? I'm a little bit split.
Okay, number one, let's go back to the Carolina Hummel thing. I'm glad that there are choices at least for independent teams. I'm glad there are choices. That's good.
Totally agree.
On the jersey front,
I did not know there were choices. Continue.
I didn't think there were.
I didn't know there were choices.
I didn't think there were, at least for the first
in.
year.
That's why I said I am shocked. Like,
right. I think we all thought that, but I'm guessing that not Adidas. Excuse me. MLS is now like moving a little bit and trying to adjust.
Continue after I say this. That's a really good sign to me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So number one, men's first team, women's first team, and academy is included.
Nice use of the mute button.
Thanks, buddy. I don't have a true cough button, so
keep going. Sorry.
That's having the academy included is incredibly cool. Having one apparel partner for the first team, for both first teams and the academy, is something that CFC has never had before. The academy started, or when the academy started, they just like went. They had just like what Nike or whatever, because they were separate entities, right? It is unequivocally good, and we don't know yet. Like, are the jerseys going to be the same for men and women? I suspect they'll be similar, kind of.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool that the women had like their own, like the sash jersey, like they had like one of their own things, but otherwise like we wore the same jerseys.
I miss Little Debbie.
I don't. I also like think it's
How rude.
I also think it's
We have different opinions.
I hope that like when the academy jersey drops for the upcoming school year, I hope it's the same one, the same ones that the first teams wear. Like I want boys and girls across the city playing for CFC Academy to be wearing the shirt of CFC. And like there's not differences between the shirt. Like that is the shirt.
Like it would say Chattanooga FC, not FC Academy. With
I don't care if
crest.
there's a CFC Academy crest on it, but
Yeah.
like if
And
we
you want
wear
it to be identical.
if we wear a white jersey
with 3 stripes down the
with
side.
with 3 stripes literally from head to toe, but like with like navy blue sleeves and like pink ass polka dots or something like that.
That's what
I
the kids
want
are
the
wearing.
Academy wearing that too.
Well, I had Paul. That's kind of a fire design idea.
I think my brain just, my mind's eye just melted.
That brings me to a nice little segue because, like Paul, I wonder how involved we are and he is, or whatever, however that situation looks like. Now moving into a deal with Adidas and not a move to somewhere like Hummel or somewhere else where there might be, it doesn't feel league sanctioned, or I now know that it might not be, but I feel like there might be parameters or whatever.
I think
You know what I'm asking? I'm
I
just
do,
word-
yeah.
I am
it
word
comes
vomiting right
it
now.
comes down to each manufacturer and each process is going to be different.
Yeah.
Obviously Hummel has like you can do some weird shit with Hummel, right? We've done some interesting designs over the years. You see clubs like Ford Madison, like I've gone all out and done some crazy stuff, and we've enjoyed that. We've enjoyed the ability, although it was mostly with Diodora for being real honest. We've enjoyed the ability to be able to like do some designs and be free and have some serious customization. It's Adidas, so like there's not going to be as much as that. Like just straight up, there's not going to be.
Yeah.
The way Adidas does their kits, and this works if you are Real Madrid, down to if you are Chattanooga FC.
Yeah.
That's not quite true.
Is they have
Real Madrid gets some of their say. Unfortunately, in Adidas's eyes, we're not Real Madrid.
correct.
They're wrong,
but
by the
like-
way.
correct,
We
they are wrong.
far more important than Real Madrid. But they're not going to treat us with that kind of.
But like Adidas will build templates for the year or for that cycle or whatever it is, and you see this play out where, especially for national teams,
Yeah.
where it feels like they all the Adidas teams like literally wear the same design, and then they're like, and we're going to change these 3 elements.
Yeah.
Congrats,
you
here's
see
your
this,
national
you
team
see
kit.
this in MLS when they all
Yeah,
had
I
this
see it in
stupid
MLS.
white T-shirt a couple
So
years ago.
this is important because you decided to check out on things, and you didn't actually read the article.
I haven't read it. No.
So
Why would I want to read it? You're going to tell me about it later anyway. It's a waste of my time.
So MLS, and there was an article that came out in The Athletic in like roughly the fall of 2020 that was basically like, why the fuck does every MLS team have a plain white tee?
I remember
for
this.
their their white kit, and
Toronto's was kind of cool to me, by the way.
and so like I think it was Pablo, the MLS writer, one of the MLS writers at The Athletic, like talked to Adidas, talked to the MLS like league office, talked to a bunch of the teams, wrote this article based on the process. And it basically came down to the people that made decisions at MLS clubs didn't trust the designers they already had on staff and just said, fuck it. And they all said kind of, fuck it in the same time period. And so the white kits just got more and more plain and quote unquote clean and basic. Because that's partly what Adidas was pushing, but partly they just stopped listening to their own like in-house designers. And that's most of the Adidas narrative now.
Cool. So this is great then, Matthew. I'm sure we will have bespoke, amazing, awesome custom jerseys, won't we? That won't look like the templates from the rest of the world.
No,
we won't.
All Adidas kits are will be based in some way
upon whatever this year's templates are.
On whatever template this is. And sometimes it's not always this year. Sometimes it's depending on how your contract works or whatever happens there. But like my goal and where I was getting to this is what I hope happens is that and number one, like this announcement came like this week. It was like December the 10th or something like that. We are late in the process. MLS teams and Adidas get together 2 years in advance of a launch so like they're like this spring
blows my mind because of how fucking trash some of that stuff looks.
Bingo. It's amazing how you can take 2 years to look terrible.
It's just yeah.
So that being said, like they'll get together this spring to start working on 2026, which is obviously a big year in North American soccer.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are certainly, especially considering there are games coming up like relatively soon, we are behind the 8 ball here. So I'm not going to expect anything
amazing
that's going to like I'm not expecting like the Tennessee River to like snake through the jersey and like, you know, like somehow like appear like out of the crest with like
that's
the
way
dead
too good
the
for
dead
Adidas
the dead bodies
general.
and like the tires like peeking out of the river as it goes, right? Like I'm not expecting that.
Breezy and I hammered on our boat.
Yeah, there we go. That sounds good.
Oh, that'd be actually really great. So like I'm not expecting things like that. But what I'm hoping is that what we can do is take whatever kind of base design that comes.
Yeah.
And it's always like it's not like actually like the base design of the shirt itself. It's like it's the accent stuff and like where the stripes go this year, how far do the stripes go down?
Yeah.
Are they on the sides? Blah, blah. It's shit like that. But can we take that and then do some really cool stuff with it?
Yeah.
Can we explore elements in our jerseys that we've not been able to explore before? We've never done true hoops. Have we done like some thin stripes like this past year with the white kit and like the little silver? We've done that, but we've never done like true hoops. One of our last Adidas jerseys was stripes before we switched to Diadora. Like, do we like 2012? So like, you know, do we go back to that in our first year?
Hell yeah.
As a little bit of like an homage? You know, we did a sash for the women, which was fucking brilliant. Like, is it going to be sash season next year? Like there's some stuff that you can do, and you can make kits look good without like putting a pen down on a piece of paper and then generating an earthquake and just seeing where it goes. Right? Like you can do some stuff with some, you know, and not go insane.
Yeah.
They are going to be less bespoke. It will happen.
Yeah.
But I still think if we try, we can still work within what we're going to be given and make something cool. And the big question I want to see is not necessarily about year one because we're late in the process.
Right.
But like, how much more can we do with year two?
Couple things. First, in the preseason, I bet we see more of like a practice jersey style.
Yeah.
So I don't think we would see any kits like by then anyways. But also, thing number 2 is those Diadora kits that you thought were Diadora that weren't Diadora but had Diadora printed on them. I can't remember. I think you can go back and I'll find the episode. But if you want to know more, we've obviously like referenced a bunch of jerseys. If you're newer here and you don't know, we did a podcast with Paul like way back in the day, and we did it all about the jerseys. Like we went down the entire history of the jerseys, which you can pull up a graphic and like watch along that if you want to. There was no video, but it was all audio. That was when I sucked at interviewing, and I asked the yellow jersey question immediately. But no, I think I want to know how involved we are in the decision making, less of the design. You know what I mean? From what you kind of explained, is it's like, okay, what kind of decisions can we say yes or no to about our club? That are individual to us.
I'd be very curious what our parameters of what we can say no to, what we have to accept.
Yeah.
Because there are, and this was covered in the Athletic article, there are certain design elements that are like brand standard for Adidas that particular year. So like if they, whatever it is, like, and I'll use the example like the article used in 2020 was the 25th anniversary of MLS, or was it 2021?
Should have been 2021 because it was 96 was the first season. But
okay,
stuff always counts weird. So
roughly whatever it is. So for the 25th anniversary, Adidas designed MLS jerseys to have the 3 stripes be like on coming over the shoulder.
Oh yeah,
like that weird
that
thing,
jersey.
because that's what it was in 1996, and so like that was an element that was required.
Yeah,
that had to be included.
Gotcha.
For that particular year's and like MLS teams go, they get a new jersey every other year.
Right.
So like if they've got the primary up this year, you're keeping the secondary from last year.
Yeah.
And you're alternating, which I actually don't hate that overall. But like some design elements are required, and some others, like you have latitude to say, oh, we don't really like that. Can we do something else? And I'd be very curious in the future to learn like what are the types of things that we will be required to do, and maybe we find out eventually when the jerseys come out or something, and what kind of things we're like, we don't really like that. Can we do other things? Can we make this our own?
Yeah.
Can we make it cool? We'll see.
One question I have is like, okay, so we're not MLS, and we don't have an affiliation. So I wonder if there will be some sort of like divisional piece there where it's like the MLS has this, like you're saying, the stripes, but that won't apply to us or something. I'm totally speculating, totally guessing, and I can't believe I'm saying this for the second time in a podcast, but those stripes that went over the shoulder, Toronto's kind of look good. Just like their white shirt going good. Sorry, I just like
Jay. Here's the most
good anything about Toronto.
Here's the most important Toronto question this podcast is going to have.
Yeah.
If we play away to Toronto, you going?
Because Matthew and I are for sure going.
Go to Toronto. I was about to ask when it is, because that's how my
I don't know. We don't have a schedule yet.
I would be super down.
I did see that MLS announced they're going to have their MLS schedule on December 20th. Fingers fucking crossed.
That's a double.
No, that won't happen. Surely that won't happen.
That would be amazing.
It'd be incredible. But like, fingers crossed that like we're not far after. I assume it'll be early January.
Gotcha.
But like,
can you imagine a schedule in early January? That'd be insane. Also, if you want to listen to that Paul Rustand episode, it is episode 12. We also interviewed him in episode 59, but it was less about jerseys in that episode. In 12, it was a lot about jerseys. We talked.
Y'all did a second one with him. That's right. I feel like I wasn't.
We did a chair. No, I don't think you were. We just did like a "You're the chairman. Let's catch up on stuff."
Right. Yeah.
Episode. So
hey, one thing I wanted to bring up that we haven't talked about, or maybe we have, but I wasn't here. I feel like a rookie. I keep going away from the mic. Have we talked about Montague Park on this podcast at all? Now that we have literal plans, not just.
I don't know if we have.
We interviewed Crew, so if you want to know more about it, you can go back and listen to our podcast with Crew, where we went to the old CFC office in the old Clumpy's, I'll call it a garage. Shout out to Frank Brock and everybody. Whenever that was all there, but we interviewed him in that.
That was episode
office.
41.
41. Episode
So the
41.
Montague Park designs that like the city and interested parties put out look incredible,
dude. It looks so good.
Like thousands of new trees, like all the different like elements of the park to separate the sculptures and the soccer, and like have a 1 mile walking track or not like a walking track, like a 1 mile trail around the perimeter
that connects with other trails that come
like
in and out.
So it's
you know how you know he got a girlfriend.
Good.
Do I?
You know how you know he got a girlfriend? First thing he mentioned was 1,000 new trees.
2,000. It's like 2,300 new trees.
So there's a soccer element.
There's gonna be new soccer fields there.
Yeah,
and he's like, "There's gonna be trees."
I am excited. The studio backs right up to like where the far back corner is. So, and I take the dogs to Montague all the time. So if there's some kind of new entrance, because there's this new building called the Betty or something,
they're gonna have a bunch of like entrances, because the whole thing is gonna be like truly connected for the first time.
And then 3 fields, which will open up a lot of playing time to the community, other youth organizations, and also the foundation, because the foundation, like CSM, they do their Forge and I forget the girls team Spark, and then they do some form of like OGA stuff and other things that will exist happening at Montague, it's also another place for the foundation to hold events. For different kinds of tournaments and after school functions and all kinds of things. And
it's incredibly cool.
And then if you're like a big conspiracy theorist, like we know that you are, you can think about some sort of inclusion with the first in women's team in some form. But that's not in the plans, and that's just me speculating.
What I really like about Montague is that like it historically as a park in this city carries a lot of importance, and I think if the plans that are shown and written down and illustrated come and like there has to be some private money raised to help make this happen. But if they come to fruition as illustrated, it becomes the coolest. It becomes the best park in town. It becomes the parks. Chattanooga Parks is like crown jewel, and something to like really, just be an incredible piece for Chattanooga Southside, and for that Rossville Boulevard and East 23rd Street area.
There's an empty lot that's like sort of adjacent. It's like up to this like metal woodwork or metal foundry kind of place that's like next door, or some kind of welding or something. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that. But it's an open piece of land. The final piece to make Jay happy would be put indoor soccer right there, and everything in the world is just.
Dude, we need a new arena in town.
I know. I want a hockey team. SPHL.
We need it for hockey. We need it for
Indoor.
G League.
G League.
And we need it for the MASL.
Dude, a G League team would be cool. Shout out to the Mocs too, who are doing really good in basketball.
Dude, yeah, they're killing it.
Okay. I think there's one more announcement. Right?
I have a little surprise for you guys.
Tell me.
Just before this goes live, we got a little special treat. We have a preseason friendly at home.
At home
to announce.
Ooh,
at home. And preseason games can bring fun teams.
They can, and this is one that we know because we played them a bunch in preseason, and we also played them in the U.S. Open Cup.
Atlanta United.
That's no, not them.
Well, good, because they're scurred.
Oh, Memphis. Didn't we play them in the U.S. Open Cup and a friendly?
We did play them. Yeah.
But we all know who it is.
Saturday, March 2, Birmingham Legion will be coming to town to play a preseason friendly. That's actually really cool because Birmingham, since they became the Legion organization, has never we play them every year in preseason, right? They've never come to Chattanooga ever, and they'll be playing here on
March 2. They'll find out why they don't
on Saturday.
Here's a good
on
idea.
Saturday, March 2.
Here's a good
and that
idea.
game will be open to season ticket holders and single game buyers.
Well, guess what? I think that we should uproot and move the game to Tennessee Wesleyan.
Damn
really
right.
far away from the city that we exist in. They can go fuck themselves.
Absolutely.
I wanted to go to that game bad, and that made it impossible for me.
The fact that you dropped Tennessee Wesleyan is also layers of fun.
As you guys are talking, I'm like, what's the closest college that's like sort of Tuscaloosa to Birmingham? But yeah, just
it's Bryan College.
For those who don't understand, they moved the game to fucking Tuscaloosa. I mean, I don't know, they didn't move it, or I don't know what made them play there, but
they moved it.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, blow me.
Fuck them.
Yeah, that sucks.
It was a long drive, and it was
pissed me off.
such a long drive home. Fuck Birmingham.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, they're coming. They're coming to play preseason.
What date did you say? Because that's important.
Saturday,
for most people.
March the 2nd.
And it's a preseason game in March.
And I expect about as many fans, supporters of theirs, to show up here as showed up down there, which was like 12.
0.
About 12. Yeah, it was pretty much 0.
Yeah, I love seeing footage of their games, and it's like, okay. I thought we felt like lesser than the seating capacity as a fan group in Findlay. I couldn't imagine being less than us in numbers and being in a stadium like that in Birmingham.
It's wild. It's wild. Well, boys, this was a fun catch-up. There's been a lot of good news. I bet by the time we release this, there will be more things in the hopper because that's how it seems to be working right now, which is so good. It's so wonderful to have news. thank you for joining me.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for making time. And listeners, viewers, we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, man.
Peace.